I'm live. Okay. Let's go to the question number 6. So this is the paper which we're starting with. We'll go to question number 6. And let's just quickly do the questions. So I'll be moving a little bit fast, and I will always train you how I want you to do the question in the exam, because there'll be only one question and I cannot afford to have you not get it correct. So anything to do with probability, you get to a question here to say probability. You know that probability, you have 3 methods. For probability, you have 3 methods. Okay? This is what you always do. You should always write probability, then you say 3 methods. Then method 1 is going to be probability of an event is equal to the number of successful outcomes of that event over the total number of trials. So you can say the number of successful trials over the total number of trials. This is for any event. If you have number of things, so this formula, we're going to use it a lot when they ask anything to do with number of things in probability. This is the formula. If I see another formula, then that is where I'll have a problem with you. I will have a big problem with you when you do the wrong method. I will forgive you if you do a mistake on the answer. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. If you do a mistake on the answer, I will be fine. Okay? I'll give you some marks. But I'll give you a nice big fat 0 if I see a method I didn't say. If I see foreign things, unknown species, you get a nice 0. Do what I'm showing you. I don't want to see your own things. That's where the biggest problem is. To see different things, many different ideas, I don't want to see them. They are too risky. We can't afford to take that chance. We can't. So here, probability of an event, anything to do with number of things. Look, I'm not giving you all topics one time. So try to just do what we do for each topic. Forget about every other topic. Just lock in on probability right now. Lock in, okay? Keep your mind on probability. If it's about number of things, this is the formula. When you are given probabilities and they ask for another one, when you are given probabilities and they ask for another probability, when you are given probability, not number of things, when you're given number of things or asked for number of things, you use this one here. When you are given probabilities, or when you are asked to find probability of not, the word not, then you're going to use this one, that sum of probabilities is equal to 1. Sum of probabilities is equal to 1. Right. Now let's go to the next thing. We are the last and final thing. When you do the word and, you will multiply. When you see the word or, you will add. So do it step by step. Doing everything that we agree, you'll be fine. When you see the word both, you should change it to be and. Then you should multiply. These are not too many instructions. Come on. These are not too many. Only 3 for the whole chapter. But also be careful. Watch out for that situation which I told you, where you pick and you don't replace. Okay, because the total will be going down every time you pick. Okay, the total will be going down every time you pick. Watch out for that one. Don't ignore it. It will cost you. Anyway, now let's do this one. Let's see. Shape, square, circle, triangle. Okay. Find the probability. You can see they gave us probabilities. They didn't give us number of things. They gave us probabilities and they asked for the last one. You know, to get the last one, probabilities add to give you 1. So what you can do is you can just say, to get this missing one, you are using that idea here to say probabilities add to give you 1. So if you have these other, you just say 1 minus these two, you get this one. So you get probability of triangle. This is us. Probability of triangle will be equal to 1 minus 0.2 plus 0.32 in a bracket, because you know probabilities add to give you 1. Oh, okay, 1D. I'll take your register. What is the answer? Tell me the answer. Okay. What is the answer? Say 1 minus, you open bracket, you say 0.2 plus 0.32. What do you get? Why are we using this? Because we have been given probabilities and we are just looking for a missing one. So we just use the idea that they add to give us 1. So what is that answer? Okay. 0.48. Well done. We like to say 0.48. And you're done. Now let's go to another paper. So this was May, June 2022, paper 2-2. There's paper 2-1, paper 2-2, paper 2-3. This was paper 2-2 for May, June 2022. And we did number 6. So you write May, June 2022, paper 2-2, number 6. Write the question. May, June, I mean not the questions, but the years, so that you can know where we did the probability. May, June 2022, paper 2-2, number 6. Walk in the park. We just used this second one. Probabilities add to give you 1. When do you use it? When you are given some probabilities and you need another. That's the only one you use. I don't want to see anything else. Right, I'm going to here copy. So now let's go to another paper. Let me try May, June as well, but I'm going to 2021 and I'll do paper 2-3. Right, May, June 2021, you write paper 2-3. Write this here quickly. There's the next one. Then now we go down. Let's start to check question 5. Or is it 1-5? Let me see. Okay, here, question 2-6. Okay, so I know that there's going to be a long passage. I'm not interested in the passage because that's where I'll get lost. I'll go here to the question. Okay, then I'll look for information in the passage. If I go to the passage, I'll get lost. I'm not interested in fighting with the English. I want to fight with the maths, because what I know is the maths. So you can put here your formulas for probability, these 3 methods. We've talked about them. We always choose one of the 3 methods. Surely you can get 100. Surely. Calculate the probability that on any day there is bread. Calculate the probability that on any day there is bread. Probability of bread. That's the one we want. Let's find out what is going on here. On any day, the probability that Malik goes to the shop is 0.7. So probability, you write with your pen, so probability of going to the shop is 0.7. Which is probability of not going to the shop is 0.3. Okay. If he goes to the shop, the probability that there is bread is 0.95. So probability for bread, probability that Malik, they said if he goes to the shop, if he goes in the morning, oh, if he goes, oh, so this is the probability that he goes to shop in the morning is the one which is 0. So probability of shop in the morning. Let's write that. Let me write probability of morning shopping. Probability of morning shopping is 0.7. Probability of no morning shopping. In other words, he shops later. Or so you can say instead of late, because here I can see if he goes later. So you can say probability of later shopping. This will be now obviously 0.3. Because either you go in the morning or you go later. So if he goes in the morning, it's 0.7. They didn't tell us the other one, but we know it already. To say if this is the morning, then the other one will be 0.3 because they should add up to give you 1. That's how I'm thinking. Probabilities add to give you 1. So if he goes in the morning and it's 0.7, the probability that he doesn't go in the morning, I write as 0.3. Even if they didn't tell me, even if they didn't ask about it, I may need it. I write every information I can find. Then now I go to the second one. If he goes in the morning, the probability that he finds bread is 0. So probability of going in the morning and finding bread, this is the one which is 0.95. If he goes later, probability of going later and the probability that there is bread. So if he goes later, the probability of finding bread will be equal to 0.6. So find probability of finding bread. Okay? Probability of bread is, what are the chances? What is the probability? How do you get the probability of finding bread? It's either he goes in the morning, probability of finding bread, either he goes in the morning and finds bread. So here we are just doing the keywords. Or he goes later. So you write, or probability that he goes later and finds bread. This will give you his probability of getting bread. Either he goes in the morning and finds bread, or he goes later and finds bread. Are we together? Can you see that? So let's write it. We can even put it as a tree diagram, because this word, and I'm beginning to doubt it. If we put it as a tree diagram, here is what happens. Let's put it. This is for morning. This is for later. Malik goes in the morning, 0.7. Malik goes later, 0.3. If he goes in the morning, the probability of finding bread, if he goes in the morning, the probability of finding bread is 0.95. Or either he will find bread or he will not find bread, which here it will be 0.05 because it should add to give you 1. If he goes later, the probability of finding bread is 0.6. I'm reading here, which means the probability of no bread is 0.4. So now that I have a tree diagram with a pencil, I can be able to do these things now. So this, edit a bit, okay? Morning, this is, instead of using this, use the tree diagram. It's safer. So either he goes in the morning and finds bread, which means Malik will go in the morning and find bread. Or he'll go later and find bread. We want him to just find bread. So now let's do it, since we can now see how to get it. Can you see how to get it now, students? Like, do you see how they were trying to trick you, make it look hard? So here you now say, Since you are using the word and, you multiply. So probability of going in the morning and finding bread, you now multiply by the probability of morning times bread and bread. Or you now say plus, he goes later, so you now say probability of later. We have changed or to plus and to multiplication. Or he goes later and you now say times, he finds bread, probability of bread. So we now say he goes, what is the chance that he goes in the morning? 0.7. And you multiply probability of bread if he goes in the morning, 0.95. Plus, what is the probability that he goes later? 0.3. Times, and he finds bread, 0.6. Then now you can add and see what is the probability that Malik finds bread on any day. What is that going to be? I hope you meet another question like this just to polish you people up on this. What is this going to be? What's 0.7 times 0.95? Karabo, tell me, what's 0.7 times 0.95? 0.845. Plus, what's 0.6 times 0.3? 0.18. What is the answer you get here? $1.02. Usually we don't, the answer should not be above 1. Let me see. It's 1.025. No, 0.7 times 0.95 should be 0.665. Okay, your answer should not come up above 1. Then when you do that, you now say plus 0.18. What do you get? $0.845. Is it the same answer everybody got? Like this. So this is going to be correct. It shouldn't be above 1. Probability, the maximum is 1. So when you get a maximum of 1, something is wrong. So you can do a tree diagram on your own. Okay, let me go back to the question just to make sure everybody can do a tree diagram from reading. On any day, the probability that Malik goes shopping is 0.7. So in the morning, shopping in the morning. So the probability that he goes shopping in the morning is 0.7. We have written this from this statement here, which means go shopping later, because you see the word morning and the word later. Those are the ones that are there in this particular question. For later, it will automatically be 1 minus 0.7, which will give you 0.3. So that's where we got our 0.3. This 0.3. So we have morning, we have later for Malik. Then now, the probability, if he goes in the morning, so now he has gone in the morning. Now we are drawing the branches for going in the probability that there is bread is 0. So if he goes in the morning, the probability of bread is 0.95. So put it here, which automatically means the probability of no bread is 1 minus 0.95. You get 0.05, because these two should always add to give you 1. You guys are not going to let me down, I know that. If he goes later, the probability that he finds bread, they told you then, is 0.6. So you just put, which means the probability that he doesn't find bread is 0.4. Okay, probability of no bread when he goes later. Now they want probability of bread. So let's just say you have these three diagrams. Then the question just says, find probability of bread. You have to include every possible path. How do we end up with bread? Either we'll go in the morning and end up with bread, or we'll go later and end up. So say morning and end with bread, or those words we will need them. The word and the word or. Or we'll go later and end with bread. So we now start to change what each means. You go in the morning, probability of morning, and multiply. Okay? This end, multiplication. Bread, you probability of bread. You close the bracket. Or plus later, probability of later, and times bread, probability of bread. When you go later, so you go morning, which is 0.7, and bread, which you take bread when you go in the morning, which is 0.95, plus you go later, 0.3, and you do bread, which is 0.6. So you now get your answers, and that'll be done. Questions? Yes, raise the question. Yes, ask me Wonderpa. Yes. Yes, the probability of finding no bread. Well done. And you'll be saying it will be morning and no bread. Or later and no bread. Then you'll be multiplying. Okay? If they ask you to find probability of no bread after you have already found for bread, that's easy. Because if you have for bread and they ask for no bread, you just say 1 minus bread. You understand? Do you remember? That probability of no something. If you have rain, probability of rain, then they ask for probability of no rain. Then there's a shorter way to do it. You just say, you know that those two should add to give you one. Rain and no rain. So we'd say probability of no rain, that it doesn't rain, will be 1 minus the probability that it will rain. And you get your answer. Like, that's how you'll be doing it. Okay? You get it? So if we have already found bread, then they ask for probability of no bread. You'll be saying probability of no bread. It will now use the shortcut. Will be 1 minus probability of bread. Which means you now just say it will be 1 minus this 0.845. Okay, 1 minus 0.845. Then the answer you get is the answer. You understand? That'll be the answer. 0.155 or whatever. Okay? Anyone with a question? Question? Okay. Let's do another one. You are going to be slow. Don't run. Use keywords. I thought there was another one in the same paper. I think there was 2 in this paper. Some papers can give you 2 questions on probability. Okay, this one had 1. Don't rush. Just be patient. You'll get an answer. Right. I'll try to do what? 1 more or 2 more? Even 1 more, I don't mind, because I want to leave these ones for you that I have here. 2024. No, these ones are for these guys. All right. I'll do this one as the last one. This is the last one. You can do it. Let's go for it, okay? I'll go to May, June 2022 or May, June 2023. I'll go to May, June 2023 and I'll do paper 2-2, I think. Right. And I'll go to either question 5 or question 23. Let's see question 5. Yes, it's question 5. I think also question 23, we'll see. Here's the one. This now, everybody now knows. Once you give me probabilities and you leave one, and you ask me to complete it, I can easily do it. I'll say, okay, the one which I'm not given is the probability for B. So you write probability for B is equal to 1 minus all these other ones, because we know they should add to give us 1. So you just say 1 minus, you open your bracket, you say 0.2 plus 0.05 plus 0.35, or in a bracket like this, you say 1 minus that, you can get probability of B. What is the probability of B? Tell me. Zero point 0.4. So you say 0.4. Question? This is way too easy for us. Completing this table, it's way too easy. We even want harder ones. Let's see, number 23. What is it about? There we go. Yes. There is the other one. Let's do it, students. Don't read this. Are you serious? You are trying to do it? Come on now. I've never taught you to do that. If I say to you, read the question, I want this one. I don't want all this. I don't even want to hear it. Let me actually do this to it so that you don't read it. We'll come back to it. The probability, find the probability that Anna and Ben both pick a red sweet. They think we don't understand the word both. Really? It's probability of red by Anna and red. Okay? You can first try to say probability of both red, because they want probability that both of them pick red. We said you change both to end. That's what we said. You change the word both to the word end. So it's going to be the probability of red. Both of them are picking red. Anna and Ben. Red by Anna and red by Ben. That's what we are supposed to find. Oh, okay. So now we can go back here and see what is the problem. Anna picks a sweet at random from bag A. Okay. Ben picks a sweet at random from bag B. Okay. The probability. So Anna is picking from bag A, Ben from bag B. Okay. That is not something we can write down. We can just know. The probability that Anna picks a red sweet is 2. Okay. So probability of red. We convert every statement. Listen, mathematician, you are not reading an English passage. You don't just read and say, oh, okay. Where did you write it down? Any sentence which you will ever read, I'll show you when we do even other topics. Even when you get to A level, there is a topic which a lot of people, a lot of students struggle with. But the way that I always teach them is this way. Write down everything the question is saying. So that's the same thing I want for you guys. Write down everything the question is saying. Probability of the probability that Anna picks red. So probability of red by Anna. You have it. It's 2/5. The probability that Anna and Ben both pick yellow is 1/10. Probability that Anna chooses yellow and Ben goes for yellow is 1/10. So let's use this to write what we know. What we know, look at how easy it is that each bag only has red and yellow sweets only. So if the probability of red by Anna is 2/5, we automatically know that probability Okay, we'll come back to this one. Probability of yellow by Anna is obviously 1 minus, okay, 1 minus 2 over 5, which is 3 over 5. Probability of yellow by Anna is 3 over 5. We know it because we've been given red by Anna. Now, you could have written to say probability of red by Anna. Then you use it to find whatever else you can find. This was 2 over 5. So probability of yellow by Anna is this. Now you have been given both of them. So, this is way too easy. We can convert it to what it means. Because we have found for the first one, yellow by Anna. Now we can come and say probability, okay, or Anna yellow instead of red, of yellow. Okay, yellow by Anna. So this is supposed to be yellow by Anna and yellow by Ben. We need to follow the same way all throughout. Okay. So now we'll come and say probability, we've been told that probability of yellow by Anna and yellow by Ben is equal to 1 over 10. We've converted this statement, the probability that Anna and Ben both pick yellow is 1 over 10. We've converted it into a mathematical statement. Now it's maths. Now this we can kill. We go for it. What do we say? We know what n means. You multiply. So you're going to say probability of yellow by Anna. Then the word end, multiply. Yellow by Ben. And you say this is equal to 1 over 10. Why are you doing that? We are just expanding what they told us. And we will naturally look for what we need. We need yellow by Ben, so that we can then find red by Ben. We are not going to find it from the sky. So we would now say, okay, probability of yellow by Ben. We take yellow by Anna to the other side. You now say probability of yellow by Ben is obviously equal to 1 over 10 minus probability of yellow by Anna. Do we know probability of yellow by Anna? We'll come and now say, let me choose and say black or blue or what. Probability of yellow by Ben is equal to 1 minus, we are just using those three methods. The word end, we are using it correctly. And here we are that's what we are just doing, the word end. So here we say 1, and to know that probability is add to give you 1. So here we say 1 minus, what is the probability of yellow by Anna? You got it to be 3 over 5. So 1 minus 3 over 5, which we now say probability of yellow by Ben is equal to 2 over 5. Which automatically means probability of red by Ben is equal to 1 minus probability of yellow by Ben. Because we know that the bag only has yellow and red. So if we know the yellow for Ben, we can easily find the red for Ben. If we know the red for Ben, we can easily find the yellow. So here we have the yellow, we can now find the red. Probability of red by Ben will be equal to 1 minus 2 over 5, which is 3 over 5. That's the probability of red by Ben, which you now say easily. We do the last part. Probability of red by Anna and red by Ben will be probability of red by Anna and red by Ben. Now we have to find a way of making everything fit nicely. Let me remove this statement now. Okay. We can remove this one because it's costing us space. Or we can put it back, but we can make everything smaller. You write small things, okay, to make your things fit. Unfortunately, this is not A level where everything has a lot of space. probability of read by Anna and read by Ben. This is now going to be equal to probability of read by Anna times probability of read by Ben. I'm not just trying to show you the solution here. Sorry. Can you still hear me nicely? Okay. This will now be, do you have read by Anna? Yes, here it is. 2 over 5. Times, you now know what n means, it's multiply. Read by Ben is 3 over 5. Now you just say 2 times 3, 6 over 5 times 5, 25. So your final answer is 6 over 25. And you can get all 3 marks. You have worked very, very hard. Is there anyone with a question? Students, is there anyone with a question? I want you to try, and I want you to ask me when you get stuck, okay? You just call me and you show me the question. Are we together? I want to put an assignment for you right now. I want you to try, and I want you to call me when you have a question. Now, before I finish the lesson, I would love to teach people how to submit using on Google Classroom. You need this app, okay? Because some of you are not doing it well. You need this app called Cam Scanner. Can everybody see the app called Cam Scanner? Can you all see the app called Cam Scanner? So first you write your work. Then you are going to take pictures. Listen, write your work nicely on a nice piece of paper. Nicely. Write your work. Then take pictures page by page, okay? Part by part. So let's say I've done writing the work and I have taken the pictures. Can everybody hear me? Somebody needs to mute the mic. Listen. Mute the mic, someone please. Mute your mics, everybody. Mute your mics, students. Yes, I was saying, let's just say that you have done all your work, you have taken your pictures. Now you go to Cam Scanner like this. Okay. Cam Scanner. Then, let's see. You are now going to click on this green camera here. Can you see the green camera at the bottom right hand corner? Camera icon, the icon, that green, you click on it like this. Then it's going to do like this. Then you click on import images. You click where it says import images here. You click. Okay? It will show you the gallery. Then you choose one. You choose the pictures maybe at the top right corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you say import. At the top right hand corner. You click on import. Okay? Don't worry about these ads. These ads don't matter. Okay, I'll click give up here. I clicked on give up. So I've taken 4 pictures. I clicked on their corner. Now here are the pictures. You come here. You've added all your pictures nicely like this. You come here where it says Cam Scanner 16 what 2026. You click there and you changed it. You put your own title. If it's assignment whatever, you say assignment 4 or assignment 5. You know the name. Each assignment is a name. You write it assignment 5, variation and selection 2 notes. Okay. Variation and selection 2 notes. Then you say okay. Then now you are done. You click where it says share. You have changed the name. You added the pictures by clicking at the corner. Corner. You click. You choose all the pictures you want for that assignment. Then now they're here. You change the name. Then you click where it says share here. Share at the bottom there. You see at the bottom where it was saying share here at the bottom. You click share. Then here it says share as PDF. You click on share as PDF. Now it can share. You click there, okay, where it says share. You see it now has a green button which says share. You click there. And there it says save to local. It can save. Or if you want to go straight to Google Classroom, you can go. Or you can click on save to local. It will save at your documents where it says documents, cam scanner. You go there, you see it. So I have saved to local. You see, download, then cam scanner. So if I now go like this, for your phones, it will be different. You look at documents or at downloads. Here I have downloads. Here it says cam scanner. I go in. I'll see at the bottom or wherever assignment 5, variation and selection. I'll select it and I'll submit it. Do you see? Students, did you see? Okay. Thank you. Go do it. We meet again tomorrow. I'm going to give you my assignment. You get it done. Anyone with a question? All right. Bye, everybody.